Hello and welcome to the Space Between Ideas. I'm Blaine Gates. Today I would like to continue the chat that we've been having, not about ChatGPT, but about output, input, scenarios, choice. I think that this is probably the way that we're going to go. Output, input, scenario, choice. These are four different elements to how people think and how they make decisions when they're doing business. And today I would like to focus on the first idea of output. Now, remember that when we talk about these four different elements, output, input, scenarios, choice, what we're really trying to do is find a method to dive a little deeper and figure out what exactly we're trying to talk about in order to apply lenses. And there are around 14 lenses which I like to apply when we start to think about business. The problem is understanding when to apply which lens. For example, if you're trying to pick up radio frequencies, it's likely that you're not going to use a telephone. Although a cell phone can help you to pick up mobile phone frequencies, it does not help you to pick up radio frequencies. That means that you have to use the right instrument in order to capture the insight that you need in order to succeed. I would like to use an example of a butcher. Imagine that we have a wonderful, kind butcher. What's the difference between how the butcher presents the butcher shop on social media and how the butcher presents themselves in real life? Because these are two very different things. And in order to understand the thinking of the butcher, we need to look at a sales funnel. So you can imagine a sales funnel. At the top of the sales funnel, use the concept of inbound marketing. We have this idea of attract attention. What does that really mean? To attract attention, basically, we're trying to go from no to like. So no, for example, if you're flipping through social media, you're going to get the idea of no. I know who this is. I've seen them several times. But did you click like? So there is definitely a difference between know and like. Next, as we move down the funnel, the next thing is to trust and to try. Know, like, trust, try. And at the very bottom of the funnel, we have buy. How do we see these different things in that sales funnel? Like what's represented in each of those stages in the sales funnel? At the top of the funnel, we're looking at social media. And you can imagine that the social media stories of a butcher are going to be very, very different than the way that they actually present themselves at the corner store. In social media, you might have stories about a cow living in a beautiful country somewhere where there's a wonderful pasture and there's dew-kissed blades of grass, and the cow listens to Mozart every morning. Basically, you could say anything that you want. You can also talk about the quality. You can talk about the flavor. You could say, wow, our beef is so wonderful. Everything about our meat is great. You can go and interview the cows. You can use artificial intelligence to move the cow's mouth. Moo, yes. I ate lots of yummy blades of grass this morning. You could do anything you want to be creative and to do storytelling and to capture people's attention. That will help people to know and to like your social media. But when they walk into the actual store, then it's likely that they want to see other things. In order to trust the butcher shop, they need to see that people's hair is held in hair nets. They need to see that the meat is properly displayed in cases. Everything needs to be clean. The people need to look like butchers. There are some standard things that you see in a butcher shop that you're hoping to see. Everything that you see around you, the other customers, the prices, the quality, everything that you see in the store is going to help you to trust. Maybe they have a platter where you can try the meat. Or maybe you buy a small piece that you can try, and then later on, if you trust them, if you like the thing that you bought, then you might buy more. You can see how the sales funnel from the top to the bottom changes, and the way that you present yourself changes depending on where you are in the sales funnel. Now, today's theme is output. When we look at the word output, there's really two lenses that we can move to very quickly. One lens is talking about the performance of your staff, and the other lens is talking about the type of processes that you have. And if you buy the book Create Crucial Insight by Tom Buchholz, then you can flip to the chapter on state styles. And what you're going to see is a value chain of processes. There's really a value chain in processes. There's the process when you're just starting out. There's a couple of steps that you have to be aware of. And then eventually you develop a process, something that you can repeat over and over and over again. And then you're going to start to improve the processes. And finally, you want to automate processes. And this is an important lens to apply when you're looking at your different processes. For a butcher shop, you're going to have that process for how you make your cow interviews on social media. And then you're going to have a process for how you upload and monitor your social media performance. And then you're going to have the processes. So that's at the top of the funnel. And then you're going to have different processes for how you communicate with the people on your social media channels. You're going to have different processes for how you buy your meat, where you find your sources of meat. You're going to have different processes for how you raise your livestock. Then there's processes for getting the livestock to the place where the livestock is butchered. Then you have your different processes for how you process the meat and put it into the refrigerators. So you can see that you have all these different processes. And if you're going to be very competitive, you have to have a list of all your processes. And you need to know where in the process value chain that each of these processes are, in order to understand what you can do in order to compete better with other organizations who also are dealing with the same processes. Really, a business is all about processes. And if you are unable to see through the lens of processes, then you're going to have a serious disadvantage when it comes to getting better results. And getting better results is all about output.